How can North Dakota's chronic homelessness problem be addressed? That was the topic of a focus group this morning in Bismarck. Robert Suhr was there and has this story.
How do you get a job when you don't have a permanent residence? How do you fill out that initial paperwork? How do you go for an interview if you don't have nothing but the clothes that are on your back?
In 2019, 567 people in North Dakota were counted as homeless. And while that number is down from the over 1,200 5 years ago, leaders with several state agencies say it's still too many. So Monday, over a dozen state agency heads came from all over the state to discuss ways to tackle homelessness. And not just the kind of homelessness you might think of, like people sleeping on the street. Here's Darcy Severson with Community Options on what's known as couch surfing.
They might find a friend or a relative or somebody that they just ran into for the day to be able to get some shelter, to find a place to sleep for the day. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a lifetime solution or even a week solution. We deal with a lot of people that couch surf from one person to the other.
She says many people couch surf because they're addicted to drugs and are turned away from any shelters. Other homeless include those laid off from the oil and gas industry who have nowhere else to go. Homelessness is also a major problem facing those in our state's tribal communities. Leaders I spoke with say the tribes and state government need to communicate better.
Right now, the way we're addressing them, the state is, working over here without tribal housing authorities. Tribal housing authorities do not get any funding to address tribal homelessness. So that's part of the issue, is that systematic issue, so their data systems don't speak to each other.
She adds tribal member cycling is also a big issue. That's where members bounce between homelessness on tribal land as well as metropolitan areas. What everyone here agreed on is that one bucket of funding and initiatives won't fix the problem because nearly every person who's considered homeless has a unique situation. State leaders say action needs to come sooner rather than later because while they're discussing new ways to help the homeless, those people are still outside in the cold. Reporting for KX News in Bismarck, I'm Robert Suhr.
All of the information gathered at today's meeting will be forwarded to the North Dakota Department of Commerce.
Addressing